Hey fams, welcome to another moment with Anne, and I'm your real estate expert that can help you get the kind of property you need. Today we'll be looking at land titles in Nigeria. I am going to really break this down. I have 5 land titles and I want to share this with you because I've had clients who ask me the similar questions all the time. They ask me, Anne, which is the best title that I can buy? Um, I want to buy a land with C of O. Before the end of this video, you will understand some very vital things about C of O and you will tell me, as in you will drop it below, if you really want to buy a C of O land or you don't want to buy a C of O land right here in Lagos. Okay. And then some people ask me, and which other title can I buy? Which other land title that I can buy from? Because I don't really know which to buy. Now I'm going to share my own view about land titles. It's still going to be very brief so that you can get to understand every bit of it and know which title of land you really wish to buy. Now these land titles that I want to tell you, their prices varies. Even if you have all of them located in one location, you can never get everything at the same price. Okay. And like I said, I'll be sharing with you my own view. The first one is global accusation, which is the free and the committed. And that really applies to the government. Okay, the government pick a piece of land and they remove their own part, like, okay, you know what, this particular one, we want to use it for amenities, we want to use it for recreational center, we want to use it for road, we want to use it for school, we want to use it for something in particular. Okay, so you get to understand that this is global accusation property, which is mostly used by the government. Okay, now the second one I want to talk to you about is excision. Now the excision is more like the government having some portion of land from maybe family, and they take some part of it, right? They take some part of it and leave the rest for the family. Now that process which they take some part of it and leave the rest is called excision. Okay, and for every for every property that is going through excision, it is said that there must be a file number at the land registry. Okay, and with that you can actually trace how to see or check if that property is actually excised or is excision in progress. Now I know you may be asking me, or you may be thinking, oh, I've seen a property that shows excision in progress. What does it mean? It means that the process of excision is still on. Okay, and there's always a file number to it. So you, each time you want to buy a property, make sure you're asking the buyer or the agent, what is the excised property? Because when you have the excised property number, you can track that excised property at the land registry. Just ask for the excised property number and that's it. Okay, so that is that. Then the third one I want to share with you now is Gazette. Okay, Gazette is one of my most interesting property because already the land has been excised. Before a property can be gazetted, the land must have been excised, and for the land to be excised, it will be published by the government either on newspapers or on some record forms, and you will know that this land is gazetted. It will be recorded, so there won't be any need for you to say, oh, I don't know what this land is, I don't know the position of this land, the date, everything about the property will be recorded and published. That is where Gazette comes in. Now you may be asking me, and what's the difference between excision and Gazette? Like you can see, excised, like I mentioned before, that the government will take their own portion and leave the rest of the portion for the family or for the owner or for the owner of the land. But for the Gazette, the government has already taken their own part. That means excision will definitely be found in a gazetted land. Okay, so when the property is gazetted, they publish it and you know that yes, this is now for you. Okay, so do not tell me, and I don't understand what this is, but make sure you are watching the video to understand every step I'm actually giving to you. Okay, now the next one is C of O. That's the certificate of occupancy. Now for the certificate of occupancy, it's basically a certificate issued by the government officially to tell you that you own this piece of land as you have applied, and we are giving you this piece of land for 99 years. Okay, this is stated in Land Act of 1978, and you need to understand how this work. Okay, after the 99 years have elapsed, the government have the whole total right, I mean the whole right, to pick that land away back from you, no matter what is on it, or you pay certain amount of money to reclaim the land back. Okay, so you've got to understand how this work. Then the fifth one I want to share with you is governor's consent. Governor's consent is one of the highest title any property can have within Lagos. I tell you, if your property has governor's consent, then it's more like you going to sleep to relax, because the governor has already signed that portion to the seller or to the owner, and the governor does not have any hand in it anymore. They've given it the power and autonomous authority to you, the owner or the seller, so you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so all of this are stated in Land Act of 1978, and it's good you understand, it's good you see through to them, it's good you see that, oh yeah, I think I have a good knowledge of the land properties we have in Nigeria. Now, for all of this property, you may still be asking me questions like, what do you think about these properties? Do you think that they are all good to buy from, or do you think that there are specific ones I need to buy from? They are all good. They are all good. All the land titles I just mentioned are the best titles any property can have. Now you may ask another question, and what is the rating like? What is the rating like? But before I proceed, let me just take a short break. Please, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified on each download post right on the Hatara TV. So you may ask me questions like, Anne, what do you think about these land titles? Do you think while rating them, we can rate all of them equally? Yes, you can. You can, but the titles are different. And guess what? Like I mentioned from the beginning of this video, so many people ask me of C of O land, C of O land. You can see that C of O land is for 99 years. So you need to consider if you really want it or not. If you want it, then good for you. If you don't want it, you want a land that has excision, it's good. It's all good. All the rating are the same because they have title. It's when you are buying a land that doesn't have title, you now say, oh, which one is best? But when it has title, they're all rated good. Okay, so now that you know all of this, what would you be doing? You'll be making your decision on which property to buy. And as I mentioned from the beginning of this video, that if you're buying a property or you're buying all of these titles land that are located in the same location, the prices are always different. Because if you have a land that has excision, you may be pushed later to say, okay, I want to do the Gazette, or I want to do the C of O, or I want to do governor's consent on this property. So it's now up to you to decide on which you want. So if you're going to move from that excision to governor's consent, definitely it will cost you money. Okay, but having an excision land is still good in Nigeria. Okay, it doesn't have any issues so far. That particular property has government title. Now, what is a government title? Government title is that government certificate a property have. Okay, whether as a piece of land or in parcel or in large quantity, which will state there that this land is registered, and not just registered, but registered freehold of land in Nigeria, or it could be it's of lease. Okay, when I mean leasehold in Nigeria. So when a property has freehold or leasehold, it's still good. It's good to go. It all depends on what you want. Okay, we have lands that are of freehold, we have land that are leasehold. Leasehold means you have that land for a few portion of time. So it's up to you to decide which exactly do you want. So you let me know. I'm going to open the comment section below. Ask me a lot of questions about these land titles. Let's talk more. You can see my WhatsApp line below. So chat me up and let's discuss a lot more. Please, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below and turn on your notification bell to get notified on each download post right here on the Hatara TV. Follow us up on all of our social media platforms. And guess what? We do always do our posts every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Thank you now and always. Bye bye.